Welcome, my friends. How are we all doing this weekend? It's the last Saturday, 2023. Welcome, everyone. How are we all doing? What's going on, TWA? My twa friends. Our friend Ross hooked me up with some goods. This is some of the vlogs, and I don't think we've done much of the vlogs yet. I see we got a kitty cat, which is like my favorite. So this is vlog number 23. Looks like it hopefully only used to be exclusive to Patreon. And I believe in the message, Ross said that they were talking about Queens of the murder scene. So I'm looking forward to that, man. Got some exciting stuff coming up for y'all in 2024. And this is going to be a good way to start it off. Let's watch this.
Hello
Hey
again.
guys! Oh, Link, baby. Okay.
Bebe.
What's up,
Say
guys?
hi.
Link says hi.
Yes. Okay. So in this vlog, we're gonna be talking about our new music.
Yay!
Okay. So chapter 1 and chapter 2 are out already, and we are so extremely happy that you're liking it.
Yay.
Guys, you have no idea. Like, all your comments touch our heart. Like,
Yeah, we have read
try to
everything,
read them
and,
all.
We're
Because
really
you write
happy
a
that
lot,
you're
guys.
liking it. In this vlog, we're gonna cover like chapter 1 and chapter 2 because we haven't made a vlog for chapter 1. So
Yes.
basically, this is like new music vlog.
Yeah.
So,
New old music now.
let's start.
Chapter 1,
Yeah, let's start with chapter 1.
which is Crimson Queen.
It's Crimson Queen.
Ugh.
And
The
one.
one. Okay.
Oh, okay. Those are like those songs have cool stories.
Yeah.
Crimson Queen is Danny's song.
Yeah.
Danny wrote the lyrics. It's Danny's song.
That's kind of like it's a nice story because, that song was not gonna be on the album.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I have been writing that song for like a lot of time, and it was just like my song to kind of just learn how to, how do I say, like, produce something. It's something I like to have fun with. Like, I recorded myself on Pro Tools and then started adding guitar, starting adding voices, and just like figuring out. I did like 7 different demos.
This is really important, though. Like, I learned so much doing the project that I did. And that was my first ever, like me doing a recording project, right? And it's in my hands and I'm mixing it, I'm editing it. I even like wrote one of the songs, right? And that was important because now I understand what it takes, and B, I have a whole new respect and understanding of what's going on behind these records because I did it. I didn't hand it off. I could have handed it off, but I didn't. I took it upon myself, partly because of this relationship that we have, the YouTube community and everything, but partly because it's kind of cool. And like, I got my friend McFly doing this stuff too. Jeremy's doing this. And it's special. And also it changes your perspective on how you can write. Because like, I have an affection and an understanding of reverb and delay. So when I wrote my lyrics, I knew where the delays and stuff were going to hit. So I knew how I could write the phrases instead, like, and that might be a way of getting away from it, but it's understanding the whole project before it happens, right? It's important, man. It's really important.
That song.
And
when I finished, I just
she showed it to
like,
us, and
Showed
I
it
was like,
do you
I was
remember this song?
I was mind blown because I remember when Danny had like very like a rough start, and like I was just mind blown. I really loved
It's tough, man. That's a really tough thing that Pow's talking about right now too. Because I've shown friends of mine demos and been like, but if it was clean, if it was better, it would rock, right? And they'd be like, yeah, sure, cool. They never get excited because I never got it to a point where it's like you can present it, because audio is a huge part of breaking down that first wall, right? Like the entry to barrier, or the barrier to entry, sorry, is a lot of the times audio. And if I'm handing you a demo that does not sound the way that maybe represents it best, it might not do to you what I'm hoping it's going to do to you, because you can't hear it all. You can't hear it all like I can. You know what I mean?
And like I was just mind blown. I really loved the song. And Danny doesn't like usually start songs, so when this one was just like,
so like,
wow.
When people like it, it makes me extremely happy. Like, you have no idea, because it's kind of like a big stepping stone for me. Like, I'm used to writing with them, but
that was
writing
her own
on my own
so that
is.
Because writing on your own is it's like a very hard thing, honestly.
Yes.
I don't even write on my own. I mean, I start
Mixing on your own is really hard too.
But I don't finish it. I basically just have chords, a very basic idea of what I want to do, and I immediately go to my sisters. A lot of people are saying like, I write all the songs, guys. Seriously, there wouldn't be one single song on this album if the three of us hadn't like wrote together. And most of the songs, cool. Some of them I started them, but most of them we actually started them and wrote them together. Yep. And sure, sometimes I write more lyrics, but it's not that I write all of them. I just write like a little bit more, but that's
especially since like the making of a song has a lot different
of layers. Exactly, because maybe I have like 3 chords, but then I mean I take it to them, and then suddenly we have 12 chords, and it. I mean. Yeah, it's a very long and complicated process.
From the writing to the mixing to the mastering, like everything.
And production-wise, I mean, it's just a very hard process, and we always do it together. It's always the 3 of us. And a lot of songs, like, if you compare it to 21st Century Blood, a lot of the songs on this album, we actually started them together while we were writing, like, in our basement, and we were just, like, in the instruments, and we started them there. So, and I think you can hear it. You can hear that there's really like the 3 of us there in every single song. So
I was listening to, and forgive me on the timelines of this, but the point stands. I was listening to When I'm Alone, the record version, and same thing, man. It sounds like Danny wrote the guitar line and the vocals and everything to like go to that. But then now when you have Ali on bass, like the bass has its whole own thing. Like obviously it stays in key and it follows the guitar, but it's not the same walks. It does like walks up and it's got riffs and stuff. Like it very much feels like all 3 of them had their hands on it. And I think that's really cool. The way like their wording of this, I think is really important.
So basically, and then what's the second song? Ugh. Oh God!
That's where the name came from, because every time we like try to work on that song, it's like ugh.
No,
that's so
basically
funny.
That song, Danny started it. Yeah. She had it as a song for a long time.
Yeah, I was just jamming out one day, and that riff, just like
great riff,
came out of nowhere, and I was like. Yeah, it was mainly a guitar riff. Like the guitar was gonna start the song, but then we put it onto the bass.
But basically that song started as a very different thing. It was
the same thing. Like you could write it for a guitar, you could leave it as for a guitar, but when you actually have the bass player involved in the thing, you can start making decisions that honor your project more than your songwriter ego or whatever is out there in other situations. I'm not trying to say Danny has a songwriter ego, but you know, like I don't know. This is cool, man. I understand why you sent me this. I appreciate this.
It's different. And we struggled. I mean, that's the song that we struggled most on the album.
We did so many versions of it. Like
we did more. I think we did kind of like 20 versions. Yeah, basically, probably. It was so many.
And every one of them, different lyrics, different melodies, different.
Oh, in the studio, we actually finished a ton of lyrics.
Like,
we did it like the day we recorded.
Oh my God, I'm remembering the old lyrics, and God,
we even did a parody. It was like
they really didn't like this song.
Don't know how to keep it stable, hearts and bagels.
Hearts and bagels.
Yeah, bacon. We were hungry.
Bacon.
But basically, that song had 1,000 versions of it, and we barely finished it. And we did have a couple of like tentative.
We were kind of sick of it.
Yeah, we were sick of it.
I was. You know what?
Let's just keep the name Ugh. We didn't really want to change it, and
we didn't.
I like how they say it. When I said it, I for sure said Ugh, like Ugh. I like how they say it.
Let's just keep the name Ugh. We didn't really want to change it, and
we didn't know why.
And we didn't found like another name. Fine. Sorry.
And we did a lot of versions for Ugh.
That was good.
One of those
That's that perfect pitch.
Turned out to be the one. And the other one it's The Sacrifice.
Yes.
So basically, 2 songs came out of trying to fix Ugh. Let's talk about the one.
Interesting.
Okay, the one. The one is I started the song on the piano.
Piano.
Wait, what? How does it start?
Wait.
Do
Please
anything
don't
to
make
That's a
it.
sacrifice. Okay, thank God chapter 2 is released because I would you. Okay, so basically, the one started. Oh, this is a very interesting story actually. The one started was only piano.
Yeah.
It was an only piano piece
Only
that
melody.
I had, and then I had some lyrics. This song was not even gonna be in. I mean, at first it didn't even fit in the story, and then we started adding different aspects to the story. We added like the whole stalker kind of thing. So now that's so now the one.
Danny just like yeah, we added the little stalker bit.
Like get in
Yes.
there in the concept. So basically, I had the song on the piano, and I had a different chorus for it. Basically, the chorus for the sacrifice used to be the chorus for the one. But then
Interesting.
we started working on the one, and we didn't like the chorus, and we put it like on standby, and we started working on it.
Someone else wrote like this too. It's like Prince or somebody, where they would have like different sections of the lyrics like laid out on the floor, and then they could like shuffle them around until they got them in a way that they liked them. But not saying that that's exactly what they're doing, but it's interesting how like one piece of the puzzle played into the next, right?
They really did like a whole Frankenstein.
Honestly,
of
all
songs.
the songs
Mhm.
are like very Frankenstein-ish. But the one is a very fun song, and it's one of the few songs where I started like experimenting with chords. Because I mean, I don't know if you guys noticed, but in 21st Century Blood, most of the songs have the same
Chord progression.
no, the same 4 chords basically.
And
when
a
we-
different.
Good
and a
songwriting,
different
though, in my
keys.
opinion.
So when we started writing this album, we were like, we need to change
Get away from
that
that.
formula. We
Yep.
really need to get away from that. And
Oh,
since-
they were saying like so the songs had the same kind of progressions in between the songs. Oh, okay, interesting. So like say if it's like a 1, 4, 5, 6, it doesn't matter if you're in A, if you're in F sharp, if you're in G, if you're in whatever, it's always 1, 4, 5, 6. Or some variation of that. So they wanted to get away from that. Interesting.
I started.
Although, I mean, it's kind of weird. People tell us, like, it's so weird that each song in 21st Century Blood sounds so different.
but have like the same chord progression,
So
and that's
it's
really
like-
fun. I take pride in that we
Yeah.
actually could
Yeah.
make it sound
Yeah.
different.
Yeah, that's the songwriter thing though, because I got into this argument once with someone about Tom Petty, Free Fallin'. It's like blow, 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 blow. It's the whole song. And I complained about it, and he went, "That is songwritership, though." He goes, "Could you write a song that was that successful with 3 chords or whatever you're complaining about?" And I went, "No, I can't." And he goes, "There you go." Like you can't. How many songs can you create within that pattern and have them be different? It's amazing.
Like,
We could do it.
but okay, so basically the one that it has like modulation. How do you-
A modulation.
A modulation.
Mm.
So we were
Harmonic
really proud of
modulation.
that we could start like incorporating new elements to our music.
Of things we
And-
learned. Yeah, we have been applying a lot of, like, new things we have
And
learned.
we have learned. Oh, and you remember one song that we went into the studio to change only one phrase?
The one.
It was the one.
Ah,
So
This is
I'm
the
gonna
one,
tell you-
okay.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm gonna
we
say
can,
the
okay.
lyric. Okay, it was. Is it all in my head? Was it something you said that left my heart explode?
No, it's
What
that made my heart explode. Explode.
Explode. That was
And-
the lyric.
Okay,
And I
made
was
my
like-
heart explode was the lyric. But
Made
then
my-
we returned to Monterey, and my mom was like, "Oh yeah, left my heart exposed," and we were like,
Wait, it doesn't
"That's
say
not the
that.
lyric," and she was
she's
like, "Oh, I thought that was the lyric."
it should be the
And we were
lyric.
like,
But
let's
wait,
change it. I
yes.
mean, that's perfect. So imagine, but we were not very happy because we were like, we had to go back and record one phrase. Are you kidding me?
Okay,
Yep.
you had to go back for mixing and
Yeah,
stuff.
so
So
we-
it's
yeah.
fine.
I'm gonna be there
So,
anyway.
Yeah,
we
we
took advantage of that.
yeah, aprovechamos. I don't know how to say it.
Took
Yeah,
advantage.
yeah.
Took advantage of that. Okay.
So okay.
Turned
and
a
now-
negative to a
this is gonna
positive.
be a long vlog. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Oh my god, it's already 9 minutes.
Okay, so when
Chapter 2.
oh wait.
Sorry it's been so quiet, y'all. I just noticed that the video is kind of quiet on here.
So we had like this whole concept, right? But it was a very long process to get it like to where it is. At first, it was not even a complete story. It was just about. I was just writing about. You see that I write in characters. I was just basically writing about a character who killed people, which is not nice. I know. I'm sorry, guys. But I mean, I just had like the idea. And then when I took it to Danny and Allie, we made it so
We
much more
shaped
than
it.
that. Thank God. Thank you for fixing
Yes.
that. And then we showed it to our parents, and my dad was like, you know what, like we should totally make this like a novel, you know. So that's why we really like. My dad was like, let's release it like in EPs so people can actually like get the the story.
Part of
if you
the story.
skip a song, maybe you don't understand the whole concept.
Oh,
Like,
so they kind of made us listen to it in its entirety by releasing it.
to release it in chapters and everything. We were just like so psyched about it, and then he was like, oh, you know what? Let's do an artwork for like every single song. And we're like,
Dad, you're a genius.
Hell yeah. So that's basically
Dad, you're paying for it.
what we did. And then we took it to Rudy, and then we started like working on it.
Rudy, shout out to Rudy.
And then we worked with Gretel, and I mean, everything just worked out fantastically.
Yes.
And we're so glad that everybody's like liking the whole concept of it. Yeah, we're so grateful for Endeavor coming up with that, because imagine if we had just released it like that. No, thank God for releasing it in
We're
chapters.
doing this. I'm
Clever,
sorry
man.
that we're leaving you with doubts and like intriguing. What the heck?
We're leaving you
with
cliffhangers.
yeah,
There
a
you
little bit
go.
of mystery here.
Yeah,
and
but
there.
that's I think that's fun. You know,
Yeah.
it keeps you there.
It's
So
fun
that's
for
cool.
us.
Yeah, at least for us. Okay, so basically, so now chapter 2, and chapter 2 is basically. Should we? Yeah, we should explain the story. I mean,
No, wait.
No.
okay, we won't explain the story then.
Yeah, because
So basically,
we have to be a little more evil.
Okay, so chapter 2 is what songs are they?
Oh,
It's Stalker,
Stalker.
Red Hands Never Fade, and The Sacrifice.
Cool.
I'm
Red Hands Never Fade goes
Let me
wild.
explain the name. Okay, so Stalker was a song that I started before I had, like, we had the concept of the whole
Album?
I remember
I was gonna say the name.
we
and I was
changed
like,
the
"Woo!"
chords of that one.
The chords?
Yeah, I remember that we were sitting. Of course we did. Oh my god.
Oh yes, we did the chorus. I remember.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was like,
Okay,
Oh, I thought you said change the chords.
I remember that I was in piano class, and I was like, we played piano lessons, potato. Okay, so basically, I learned these new chords, which is basically the cliche that goes in the piano at the beginning.
dun, dun, dun.
And I really liked it, and I wanted to make a song with that. And the chords just sounded like really creepy. So I was like, you know that I'm not good at writing love songs. So basically, I had the mentality of like writing.
I think what she was talking about when she said, like, with that thumb placement, I think that's the fifth below the octave. Or below the root. So, like, if you have your C, E, G, you'd play the G below the C. Or a C. I can't remember how the C chord goes now. I'm freaking out. Whatever the notes are. Or A, maybe. Anyways, you play below. And I think that's that movement. So, it's basically, instead of just taking 1, 3, 5, it's like the other way of playing it. Your thumb does it below the root. And, like, it's not that much of a difference, but it changes it from being like, now you're like, it changes it from you're playing guitar on piano to like you're playing piano on piano. Just a little bit. It's just a voicing thing, but I think that's what she was talking about.
A creepy love
The fifth
song,
below
which is
the
basically
root.
what came out. And then after, like, I couldn't finish Stalker. So basically, we took it together, and when we started adding the music, it was just so creepy.
Yes.
It was
really
so, it was
cool.
disturbing. It was uncomfortable, which was everything that we wanted it to
the
be.
guitar feedbacks.
We
are
were
like,
when we were,
were so
recording
happy.
that, because like our rough drafts,
Like,
Mhm.
yeah, like
our
Or demo.
that's the word.
demos, or like really like have everything.
Yeah, that
Every single
we
detail.
put a lot of time
Oh
into our
yes,
demos.
we
So-
produce our demos.
So
like,
when we
to
were
100%.
recording the guitars, we were like,
Yeah,
that
those
was
riffs and
really
everything,
cool.
everything just like
Yeah.
felt
Actually,
perfect.
those feedbacks are from the demo. Like
Yeah.
we didn't want to
Oh,
change
wow.
anything. Yeah,
like we were so used to
the
them, and
pianos.
they
I
sounded
remember
so
I was
good.
recording the pianos, and we put like
a reverb.
it was I don't know. We took out a lot of like I don't know. I remember what I did on the piano, but I remember that I made it like wet. Like the sound was wet and like very
Reverby.
like distant,
Mhm.
and
Yeah,
we just
reverb.
loved it because it felt
The more reverb you use, the further back into the room it sounds.
reverb. Then I'm sorry. So and it felt like really good, and we were just like, you know what? Let's just leave it like that. And but thanks to Stalker, like Stalker is a reason that like we were able to
have
incorporate
this-
a lot more songs, and the story got like kind of more like developed. So and after Stalker, it's Red Hands Never Fade. Red Hands Never Fade is actually a really cool story. About like 2-3 years ago, I had like the phrase "Red Hands Never Fade." I did a doodle on a notebook with a hand. That is I do not know how to draw. I'm sorry, but it's a really bad drawing, and it just said "Red Hands Never Fade."
It looks like
and
you did like a hand in chocolate or something.
Yeah, it was a really bad drawing. But then I came back and I just started like writing some stuff, and I just left it there for a very long time, and I did not like pick it up again. And then when we were doing like we were trying to pick up songs that could fit here, and then we grabbed and we were like, "Red Hands Never Fade," like. Sounds like it could fit here
in this story.
Yeah, and then we started working on it, and it just turned out like really. My favorite like part is like the whole to tell you to tell me to tell you.
Yeah,
I loved like that's.
And I always got it wrong. Like
To tell you to tell me to tell you. It's interesting. It's interesting.
Tell me to tell you.
Hold on.
Really, my favorite like part is like the whole to tell you to tell me to tell you.
Yeah,
I loved like. That's
and I always got it wrong, like recording.
You said like to tell you.
No, to tell me to tell you to tell me.
Yeah, you always like switched it up.
Yeah.
But that was my favorite phrase. Like I felt so proud of that. That's really cool.
It's funny how one phrase stands out like that.
Then
it was that song was really hard to write. I remember that. Do you remember like the really long songwriting sessions that we had?
We
just
spent like
trying
2
to
hours.
finish those lyrics.
Yes.
Because the lyrics for the verses were.
no, but wait, that's
No.
We also before
we have a ton of songs that we took a long
before
time
we
to
went
write
to
the
LA
lyrics,
and
but
everything.
Red Hands Never Fade was one of them.
Yeah.
Okay, but that song is that song is really it's the most tiring song to play, cause
for you.
It's really fast
For you.
and I'm doing eighth notes on the
Well,
right
my
hand
notes are
all the
also
time.
fast.
And in the bridge, I'm doing 16 notes. So it's basically my right hand is doing this.
So like in a 4-beat measure, you get 8 bars when she's doing 8, or 8 notes when she's doing 8s, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4 turns into 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and when you have 16, I don't know if I can do it 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, is that it? 1 E and I think yeah. That's a lot of notes, man. Like, and that's quick, right? Come on, man.
The whole song, and it's so tiring, but it's really fun to
It's like
play.
trend picking.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
Really
I was gonna say which one was for me, but it's still not.
No, it's still out,
I
so-
was like,
Okay, and the next one is the sacrifice, which is really weird to call it the sacrifice, because okay, let me explain a little bit about the background of the sacrifice. Basically, I remember we were doing you know the Patreon rewards where we write lyrics.
Oh yeah, we were writing
the lyrics
I remember.
for like one of the Patreon rewards, and I was listening to my K-pop playlist, and I remember I was.
Oh, Danny was having a party.
Oh,
at the
you
house.
were in a party outside.
Yeah, I was like,
and,
what do I?
and
I didn't
Alex
Party at the house.
and Ale and I were writing the lyrics.
It was that day.
It was
Yeah,
that
no
day.
way.
So
Oh,
basically,
wow.
I had my headphones on.
Can you imagine like looking back, like oh man, I went to a high school party at their house once. Like how crazy would that be? I'm trying to think of like anyone that I went to school with like popped off. Like what a trip that would be. Anyways,
I was listening to my K-pop playlist, and a song.
No,
I'm
don't
not
say the
gonna
name, I'm
say the
sorry.
name, but basically a song came on. And I was like, "Whoa, this is really cool!" And I was just like felt like really inspired to go to the piano. And basically,
And I was like,
I had okay, and I started like playing, and stuff just like came out like really well. And I had like the verse part 1 was what the first thing that came out, but the second part of the verse,
please don't.
no, that's the first part. The second part is the that was from another song that I had that we didn't even
Another
use.
Frankenstein
I just
one.
grabbed that part. I didn't even show it to you guys. That song was horrible, but that part was
Yeah.
good. So
Yeah, I thought that
placed
was like the original.
So I placed it there, and I was like, okay, this is sounding good. And the one more simple question came out when we were with Nick Littlemore.
in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I remember that he
Right,
gave us some
yeah.
chords. And he was like, write like a very short song with
With
this,
this,
and
yeah.
that's what came out.
And
And Nick
Interesting.
told us like, whatever came out here in that session, you can use. Like it's yours. Use it on your songs. So we found that
That's
it
cool.
fit perfectly
Yeah.
there. And we were like, you know what? Let's use that. And the chorus. It was the one from the one. But that chorus actually came out after like the same like K-pop influence, which is really weird because you guys keep telling like, oh my god, I hear this type of influence here, I hear this type of influence, and it's just really funny for me because I mean, I look at the list of influences that we like what we were listening to when we were making this album.
You were like,
and it's the extreme opposite. We really like
it makes no sense because what we do sounds nothing like
what we.
But influence and intuition are two different things, though. I'm starting to learn. Because like my musical intuition comes from a background of like 80s hair metal, probably similar to them, right? But my musical inspirations today, and I wrote a ballad called Who's Killing Who, and it was like upbeat pop punk stuff. And I don't even want to go that far because a couple people said that I sounded kind of pop punky in it. But like that's what I was listening to more like upset music and like aggressive music at the time. I just portrayed the feelings into a ballad, right? So it's just like it's interesting. Like, but those are two different things. Those are definitely two different things. And I think that's what they're talking about.
Our
we
album
grab like tiny things we like.
that we like, and we try to
make
like
it our own.
And we make it our own. Basically, what we were listening to was a lot of like Japanese rock and a lot of K-pop, and that's and
of course what we always listen to.
Like if you don't already listen to some of those artists and from some of those groups and labels and companies, it's extreme. Like the closest thing, like there was a Stray Kids song I listened to a metal version, and the real version, it's like, this is intense. Like it's a lot all the time. There's so much going on and it's in your face all the time. I totally get that. But like, to me, that makes sense. Like I could listen to a metal song and a rap song and be like, okay, I like a lot of this. Like I see a lot of similarities in this. And I understand that that's weird, but it's like an intensity thing and like a build and like how many fast things are happening at the same time to make sure that you can hear all the fast things happening. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, like My Chemical Romance.
But
Same.
Panic at the Disco and stuff like that.
But it's like but I think that whole jumble of stuff that we listen to, like it's like we're like a melting pot, and everything just like comes out like a very unique sound at the end.
And so like each one of us has a very unique sound.
So it even makes like even more.
So
basically, the sacrifice was called Gracias K-pop.
So we always said gracias. It's thank you in Spanish.
Like so we basically called it gracias until we were recording it.
It's still weird for me to
call it the sacrifice.
It's always like gracias. Like live when we
at least when we practice it here,
it's
like Ale tells me like what song is next, and I say gracias. It's not the sacrifice. It's gracias. But
so interesting.
The sacrifice has to be like my third favorite song from the album. I love it so much.
Your third favorite song. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just so proud.
Okay.
I used to be so stuck with chords, but those chords, we really just went out of the shell with that.
Yeah.
We have like that modulation. Yeah, on the piano. I worked a lot on those chords. So I mean that modulation from the pre-chorus to the chorus, I was just so proud of that. It was just like, oh my god, it's so
the
different.
second chord from the pre-chorus, it's like
because instead of doing it minor and like if we did it minor, it would have stayed it would be diatonic. It would have been inside the scale. But since we did it major, it's no longer in the scale. So it sounds like kind of like dissonant. I love that.
So it depends on what chord they queued it up with, but like you'll have parallel, I think it's called a parallel minor. So in More Than Words, there's a C chord and it falls to C minor. C minor is not in the key. I believe it's in the key of G. So the fifth would be the major, but having it as a parallel minor, it just like gives you dissonance. It's like uneasy almost until you resolve again. That's interesting, man. It's interesting.
It's no longer in the scale, so it sounds like kind of like dissonant. I love that. I was just so proud.
Very interesting.
So that's why, and just musically, I love all the riffs.
Oh yeah.
One I have like my favorite part is the pre-chorus. The second pre-chorus.
The turnaround.
Yeah, oh yeah, fun fact, the last songs we wrote were Dust to Dust, the one, and the Sacrifice.
And the Sacrifice was also another like result of us trying to fix Oh my god, the vlog is 21 minutes.
So this whole record is a playoff of them trying to fix the song Ugh. Okay.
Hey guys.
Okay, but quick thing, I mean, the last thing I just want to say, it was like, okay, so we had a lot of fun recording this. I recorded the pianos, and it was really fun recording those. But live, that's gonna be fun. I really. But with the piano, you're doing it on the guitar.
Yeah.
And it sounds so cool. I love it. I personally
does.
really like it. And then the one, I mean, we're using a track because it's not like we're gonna stop playing to go and play the piano. Yeah, but we're really, really glad that you're liking it. I hope that when we finish releasing the chapters, we can sit down and explain to you what the story is about.
Yes.
Which I'm really excited about that.
After Lunario.
Yeah, after Lunario. And
although I gotta say, guys, most of you are getting pretty close. Well,
I mean, some of these are not very complicated stories.
It's not very complicated.
It's a very easy story to follow, honestly.
Before I forget, sorry. We have seen that a lot of you guys have doubts about Nada Mas Records. We are not signed with a label. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Like it's our own
it's our
sello de. I don't know how to say it.
It's our sello de.
Our sello.
Symbol, like our symbol for.
No.
The thing is, like,
release
if
it
you
later.
Google it, like,
Nothing's
you're not gonna
You're not
find
gonna
anything.
It's not a record label, guys. Don't
yes,
worry.
We're still very independent.
Yeah,
Okay, I
and
getcha.
It's just
They probably just had to like qualify or like have like another business or like another entity or whatever to do the other side of it. Some sort of like paperwork or tax thing that you're supposed to do. It'll be something like that, I bet.
independent, but
with a brand.
basically, that's
okay.
it. So Nada Mas
So, yeah.
Records, it's still
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's and the name is from an inside joke that we have with
Rudy.
Rudy.
So yeah, guys, we're really
Yeah,
happy
don't worry about that.
you're liking it. Stay tuned because chapter 3 it's not long till it comes out. Don't worry.
Which songs like
So-
just like
Uh,
I don't
Okay,
understand
so
anything
the
about-
next songs are one of my are a few of my favorites, and I think it's you guys are. I think chapter 3 you're gonna like.
So
it.
fun.
I think it's gonna be one of your favorites.
I get it now.
You're gonna like it.
Okay,
So
I'm still missing one song though.
this chapter, this block has gone on for way too long. So we're gonna say goodbye, guys. And when chapter 3 comes out, we'll
tell you all about it.
Love you guys. Thank you.
Bye.
Ciao.
How much fun, man. How much fun. Okay, I gotta slow this one down for now and we'll watch the next one next. But I do want to say thank you to Ross for sending this to me. It's a lot of fun, man. It's cool getting to hear their takes on like how this all came together and went and worked out and like the kind of stories behind each of the songs, right? And like there's a part of me that wishes that I had started this journey when these were like brand new, man, because I get it. Like I totally get why y'all are so passionate about this group, man. Because like you've seen all these, like you've watched all these, and a lot of you probably experienced them when that happened, right? Right? Let me know. This is really cool, man. This is like a different kind of cool too. I appreciate this one. I appreciate all the love and support from all my TWA friends. Ross, I got a couple more coming for you, I guess for all TWA, but you were the one that suggested them. And my friends, hey, the Warning's got Patreon, and I got the link in the description box. Go check it out. Go check it out, man. Give them some love. Let's make this dream happen. See you on the next one.